And of course, let me say a special hello to all the WZY 95.9 FM listeners. Yes, 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 people. We are back with you. It's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. Let me just let that play for a little bit there. Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasted from Essex County. You're listening to WZYE. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. And if you don't know who the Dark Triplets is, Dark Triplets, that's no one and only, the one and only, the one and only Diana Waveney Benskin. And of course, we have with us as well, yeah, that's the anthem. And you know what? Sometimes they call me Wall Street. Yeah, they call me Wall Street sometimes. And then we have the one and only Phantom Boy. Phantom is the G and the Dark Triplets. And we also have what Diana, I gave Diana credit for this. Diana just call him the outside child. You know, I give Diana credit. I'm gonna bring Diana here. Diana, I give you credit. Diana, take credit for that one. Take credit, Diana. Take credit.
Oh my God.
You will. And waiting from Orlando, boy. Watching from Orlando, of course, Steve Trini Lopez locked in early. And of course, Guy Tree is also locked in from Virginia. Welcome. Diana, what's the story? I'm gonna bring Tommy in early today. I'm gonna bring Tommy in. Yeah, I'm mad, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy, welcome, boss.
Thank you for having me in the village with the Dark Triplets.
Yeah. People that say Tommy that be putting his hand in front of the screen, they doesn't know what they be doing with that finger in front of the screen. You know, they doesn't know what they be doing. You're kind of putting that finger in front of the screen, but the Phantom will be in soon. I'm sure the Phantom. Yeah, there we go. The Phantom will be in very soon. So, folks, we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Of course, the numbers here 973-346. 2127 973-346-2127 973-346-2188 973-346-2188. And you can also get us on WhatsApp. You can send us your voice notes or your voice messages at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444. Let me see if I could get that. Let me see if I get that streaming at the bottom there. Here we go. I can show that at the bottom right there. Here we go. Those are the calling numbers, folks. Welcome, Diana.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, listeners, wherever you are. It's nice to be back in the village with Gary and Anselm and my outside child. How you going, boy? How you going?
Oh, boy. I think I have to... Tell me if you get any feedback from me, right, Anselm? Then I'll make an adjustment because I can hear the monitor going on downstairs.
Only the outside child. You see why I call him the outside child? Giving trouble. Only the outside child is get trouble with. See?
All right, the stepchild. The stepchild.
Yep.
All right.
So where Tommy give you a little introduction, so people could know, who the outside child is.
Well, of course, I am your Caribbean commissioner right here in the city, and it's a pleasure to be with the Dark Triplets every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday as we speak truth to power. That's all we care about, telling it like it is, because like you always say, Anselm, when you tell a lie, you don't remember at all.
It's
I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. Tommy, it's funny you say that, right? My mother-in-law was actually looking at the last program on Saturday, right? And she said she was cracking up laughing when I said that, my mother-in-law told me 33 years ago, a liar has no memory. I was saying, what's she telling me that for? But there was a particular reason why she said that. And a lot of times people tell lies and they really don't remember what they tell, you know what I mean? So when they do it again, Gary, welcome, my friend.
What's going on? I'm on the road here, okay, guys? Yeah.
Nah, that is all right, man. You know, you're inside, man. The most
Yeah,
important
yeah,
thing, you're inside. We
yeah,
know you're
yeah.
Gary. We know you always doing something, man.
Yeah, boy,
Why you think that?
the amount of problem I had to solve it was easy.
Mhm.
But I had it. I'm approaching the Lincoln Tunnel. I'm Holland Tunnel here right now.
That is all right, man. Well, well, you want to give us an update, or you want us to continue and then you'll give us an update a little
Well,
later?
yeah, continue. I will basically kind of
All right.
resolving issues with the kids, and in Barbados, getting
Mhm.
their flights. Some people got the exemption. They don't want this flight. It's like, 1 minute they wanted to go home, 1 minute they're changing their mind. They got something else to do, exams, this, that, the other. And this is a critical situation here because we're under pressure. The government is under pressure and trying to get them home. I mean, we had the issues with the ash and so that. I made a big deal about the children's health, and the government is collaborating with me to get them home now, and they're giving me different excuses now, and it's a couple things that you have to deal with. I didn't expect the kids to really pull this kind of stunt because most of them wanted to go home. They were begging to go home, trying to go home, and then they trying to change up the plans. But I had to do a kind of on a lot of unnecessary back and forth. But things are pretty much under control. You know.
Gary, you think the increase of cases in Trinidad given them cold feet at this time?
I don't know if it's cold feet. I mean, we are. I mean, the government has a right to be concerned because, if you look at the press conference was that yesterday, they are 10 beds away from maxing out their limit. So the citizens, although we know the
It's
issue
serious.
is with although we know the issue was created by the illegal immigrants. The citizens in the country have to conduct this with expect to wind up and jam up as usual like they want to do, and that is what causing the spread of these things because there's a mix and match thing going on, and citizens have to be responsible. I mean, it can't be continuous. Everything is normal, and everything is a carnival get together. I mean, you've seen the deaths now. Look at India, what's happening in India. We have to be realistic. The government has been very stringent in some things, but at the same time, citizens need to step up with responsibility. This thing is a life-threatening thing. You got to maintain 6 feet distance or go 6 feet under. Choose with 6 feet you want to do, what you want to. You know what I mean? What you want to deal with. I'm
But,
being very
but
realistic here.
but Gary, I want to say to you, you are being very generous in your description. You are being very generous. And if if the government had decided to do what's right, and let me give you a quick example, right? And let me say this.
Yeah.
Let me say this, Gary. Think about this, right, Gary? The government is going to allocate $10 million to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, right? Let's say they allocate, it's 1.39 million people, right? Let's
Yeah.
split it in
No,
half. Let's
this 10 million for what?
$10 million. We're gonna put it up on the
For
screen
what?
just now.
For
Well,
what?
they allocate $10 million to help the people in the country, people who lose their jobs, different people, business people, right? $10 million was allocated, right? Now,
But people I get from last year, some people I get from
but
total
but
allocation.
but Gary, hear me out here, right? $10 million,
Mm.
dollars, right, Gary?
Mm.
All right. So I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I cut it in half. I say 500,000 people in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Gonna have a share of that $10 million. If 500,000 people get a share of that $10 million, right? It is less than $100 per person. It's less than $100 per person. I mean, what kind of mindset and I am putting it at 500,000 people. What kind of mindset what is really the government actually thinking about? What are they thinking about? I mean, then maybe really and truly they are thinking about, we are just going to help 100,000 people with that $10 million, right? It just doesn't make sense, man. It just, and let me go to the next point. No,
this government is making sense of a lot of things. I mean, it's quite a while they're making sense of a lot of things, but it has taken a while to get things where I have a little bit of progress with these repatriation, and especially with the kids and the situation in Barbados. But there's a lot of things this government is not thinking out truly, and that's what causing the chaos in the country. And there's a lack of, first of all, there's a lack of consideration, all right, towards people, and there's a lack of understanding towards what the chaos they cause. It is not carefully thought out. So I don't know if science, Dr. Rowley, is following, number one, and who's the scientist leading it? Who's that? Roshan Parasaram leading it, or the Alsing scientist, the scientist?
Well, Gary, now think about this, right? Most countries are trying to get to herd immunity, right? And they have now reclassified herd immunity to having 80% of your community vaccinated, right? Let me put up this, because I like to put things up, right? So Trinidad currently have vaccinated about 3% of the population. Let me put that up. 3% of the population of Trinidad and Tobago have been vaccinated, right? Let me put this up right here, right? Now look at it, right? Total people vaccinated is 51,283. That's 3% of the population, right?
Okay.
Total amount of, I gotta read that. Total test done is 137,000. Boy, I gotta read my glasses, boy. Right? It's 137,000. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up on my phone, right? Because when I look at that, I need my glasses to look at that, right? So you have to go, Gary, Diana, and Tommy. You have to go from 3% to 100, from 3% to 80%. I'm gonna bring it up here. Here it is. Here is the COVID dashboard, right? 137,081 people, right, have been tested, which is about 9% of the population, right? They are vaccinated about 51,283, which is about 3%, right? In order to get the herd immunity, you have to get 80% of your population vaccinated. Trinidad has only been allocated about 100,000 vaccines from the COVAX facilities. And I sent a message to the Prime Minister the other day, right? Because there was going to be an allocation of some 500 million vaccine of Moderna. I said, all you get ahead of the curve and all you order 2 million vaccines, right? Because if they order 2 million vaccines, they might get 1 million. So if they get 1 million, they'll be able to vaccinate 1 million people, and they'll get to some portion of herd immunity. So, and then people will say, oh, and Sam, you only want to criticize the government, but these are all facts, right? When are we going to get it right? When are we going to be proactive and now, you hear the new thing? They're going to deploy, I think it's 700 army people on across a beach there. Right? They're going to deploy that. Why didn't do that years ago? Why didn't do that years ago?
700 army people where?
Hold up. I'm going to get it. Yeah?
No, but where? Let's say what they're going to do. Where are they going to deploy that?
It's at around some beach, around a beach. I have it here. I'm going to get it.
So they ban after the horse has bolted.
Yeah. The horse them already left the band. They're gone. They're gone. Right? And now all they're going to order two boats. Right? 2 boats. Come on, man. Come on.
Answer, maybe my friend who's cooking with me, taking some of the advice that I've been throwing out there. Because Short Young 𝗬𝗏 clearly didn't want the advice, and 𝗬𝗏 more of an obstacle anyway. So I am seeing a little bit of progress by the new minister. I'm seeing a little bit of progress, and it seems like he has taken some suggestion that was made many moons, and I've been reiterating it. So it seems like he's following through. So let's see where he goes. I mean, I am paying attention. I'm falling for any trap, but I would address him. I mean, if he pulls any 609, I will address him straight up. But in the meantime, what I'm thinking is I'm seeing a little bit of progress. So let's see where he's heading now. With this, he's attempting to put the army there. So let's see how they handle it.
Where he's under the spotlight, so he's forced to take action because shifting from different like the acronym that Anselm has given him, FOAT. I guess he doesn't want to hold on to that Oscar for too long. So he must take the pandemic. This situation is people's lives. So he must take action. He must take action because the security of the border, the security of the country, the health of the country. Yes, the health falls under 𝗪𝗏𝗃, but indirectly it falls under him too. Because if you're locking people out, you're not letting them come in. That's their health too. They're depressed and all that. And then the borders are porous. That falls under him too. So everything falls back right to him. So let's see. And we've been singing this song for the longest.
We've been putting the pressure on them. We've been putting the pressure on them to tell us where the infections came from if you lock our people out. And it's obvious. It's very obvious that the COVID didn't parachute into the country, right?
Nope.
It's obvious, and they are at fault for not properly managing our offense lines. And this is something I've been preaching way ahead before we got this program, and I've been reiterating it on the program. So, but what I'm saying to you is we have a minister who seems to be taking notice of what we're saying. And he's attempting to apply what we're saying.
But in the meantime,
let's keep an eye and see how it goes.
In the meantime, Gary, though, we're dealing with the pandemic and all its strangleholds, all its tentacles. Now, the COVID is one tentacle, and the porous borders is another. How are we going to handle now Cyril's children, as my friend Adrian puts it? You know what I'm saying? That falls under him too. I'm noticing from social media reports coming to me and the newspapers I'm reading also. You're seeing the disenfranchising the black people of Trinidad and Tobago. So how are we going to get the government to notice black people are suffering? They were suffering before, and now COVID come, and they're going to be suffering even more. When you're chasing them now, they're trying to make a living. You chase them. Now you're going to, okay, I understand you have to put these, and I would prefer them not to use the word lockdown. If they could if they're listening, if they could change the narrative and say national pause, and perhaps people will be more conducive to, adhering to the measures. One moment, Gary. If they could say we're going on a national pause, because lockdown sounds like I'm in jail. But if you say national pause, a temporary stop, something, words are, words can say and mean a lot, right? So you that are in charge, you communications major people, change the narrative now. Don't use the word lockdown at all to Trinidadian people, Trimbagonian people. Say national pause or a temporary stop, right? And perhaps you ain't gonna find so much, angst towards the whole, procedure, and people will be more conducive to working with you. Because when you hear lockdown, I think in jail. That's all. Go ahead.
Here's the
The need for increased border control, heightened by the dual threats of COVID-19 and illegal immigration. The Ministry of National Security will be moving to amplify the security presence in the southwestern peninsula's Camp Laramine base.
The overall project comprises the construction of 5 buildings with a total floor space of 1,300 square meters for approximately 700 soldiers. This project is part of the larger development plan for Camp Laramine, which will allow the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment to have at any time a force that can assist in the security and defense of the much needed and exposed southern peninsula, as well as oil and gas assets.
In November of 2019, the sun was turned at Camp Laramine for the construction of new accommodations for the 2nd Infantry Battalion of the regiment. The project is scheduled to be completed by May 31st. Meanwhile, the National Security Minister says the Coast Guard can look forward to the arrival of the 2 Cape-class patrol vessels, which were ordered from Austral in 2018.
To increase border security and safeguard the country's maritime domain, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has approved the purchase of 2 Cape-class patrol boats, which will strengthen the capacity of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. These vessels will be joining the Coast Guard fleet sooner rather than later. And I give you the assurance that project will not be aborted to your trauma and to the disservice of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You will have them.
The Air Guard will also see a boost to its arsenal.
Additionally, the government is seeking to facilitate the reintegration of one of the AW-139 helicopters back into service to provide essential air surveillance support to the Coast Guard, as well as any other aerial operational requirements in support of the business of national security.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
And we gain some more border protection. We're buying 2 more boats. I thought, don't they have 6 boats sitting down somewhere in Trinidad and Tobago? Do they?
And every one of these patrol boats that come on board, they pack it up. Every one of the previous government board, they pack it up.
And Gary, to intervene here, remember I say the neutral one. This is what I don't want. I don't want to hear Kamala buy the boat. I don't want to know if Manning buy it. I don't want to know if Robinson buy it. The fact is, they are being deployed. Let me get away from that now.
No, Diana. No, Diana. Those boats are not being deployed. No, they're not being deployed. They're going to buy 2 new boats. They're going to buy 2 newer boats. The other boats, they're saying down there catching dust.
So why are they sitting catching dust?
I don't know. We don't know. You could ask your boy, Phil Geraldine.
All right, so I'm going to ask him that then. We're going to pinch him. Yeah, we're going to pinch him on that.
Yeah. Or let Gary, guys, Gary boy, no, let Gary ask the boy.
Gary, ask him why the boats are sitting there.
All I'm seeing is my partner, if they come which I wanted to see in the country, we have been batting back and forth with each other. See, he understands what I stand for and what I'm looking forward to. And he did that in action, which I am very proud. I'm not saying we are best of friends, but he is known fully. I have made my points to him over the years what I stand for and what we should do. And I'm seeing some of those things being put into action. No, I'm not falling for action. Like I'm saying, within a few days, if you notice the drastic difference in the security and the handle of certain things, I am satisfied to a point.
To a point.
So here he is again. Here he is
Just think for a moment, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the big, rich, powerful superpower, United States of America. They have CIA, they have FBI, they have state police, they have Marine branch, they have Air Force. They are superpower. And yet, The statistics show that there are close to 600,000 illegal immigrants in the Florida area alone. They are having an ongoing challenge with the Mexican border, with people coming into America by all of the most creative means. Haiti is a longer way from the Miami coastline than Venezuela is away from us. And there are Haitians going into the United States, in Florida and other parts. And so, it is a question of our geographic circumstances, and it is a question of our resources, and it is a question of our intellect, and our professionals, and our planning, and our constant reassessing of what we have, and what we need to do to stay on top of these burdensome challenges that eventually redound to the pain and trauma that you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, would feel when the guns come in your neighborhood and that 14-year-old boy takes up one and kills his friend or kills someone in a foolish, empty robbery. Or when women are taken out of Trinidad by way of human trafficking and carried elsewhere, never to be heard of or seen again. Or when the cocaine gets into your community and make vagrants of our sons and daughters, while some people laugh all the way to the bank. So we understand this. And this is why we have with us the professionals who will tell us. So we had that OPV program, and that was scrapped by a previous government for reasons best known to themselves. That is no longer an issue because we must move on. And we are moving on to the extent where the Prime Minister, using his prime ministerial capacity and vision and wisdom and the respect that he has acquired in the international community and the respect that he has for other elements of the international community, was able to negotiate with the Australian government and to order, with their help, 2 Cape-class vessels, which I'm happy to let you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, know are expected sometime soon. I will not venture a date because I don't have the date in my back pocket. And in any event, if I did, the way the business works, the way the weather works, the way circumstances works, that date could change. And I know in Trinidad and Tobago that date will become a big issue. Suffice it to say that we will expect these vessels very soon. And they will join the fleet that the Coast Guard has at its disposal and make our capacity to interdict and to treat with our border issues far better.
Okay.
Yeah, there you have it, man.
Watch out there. Homeboy gonna put your down to shame, man. Watch out there.
Well, listen, I want that fella.
If I have to put your tongue to shame, I will do that with all my might and all my power.
All I'm going to say is, show me the heroes. Gary, give me a minute. Show me the heroes that the youth of the country can look up to, and I will show you the future of the country.
Of course, you had to spin the little political thing, but that's all right. I can live with that. All I care about is that they do what is necessary, but they realize they have come to the understanding that they had to pull up their socks. Okay?
Well, let's see how. Let make sure they pull it up with proper garters and don't slip.
Well, but Gary, huh? Somebody send me a video with Stuart Young doing a dance, doing a dance a chutney. I don't. but Gary, since the man leave Ministry of National Security, we hear from him. We hear from him today. Something happened with BPTT today. Something happened today with the Ministry of Energy.
Yeah,
Boy, we hear the man quiet like a lamb now, boy.
Boy, let me tell you something. You gotta watch this fella with the resources there. If he feel you off the grid, and I wouldn't be paying attention to where he go with this, with our resources. He fool himself because I got news for that Chinese boy.
Oh God.
You understand?
But Gary,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I tell
boss, I wanted to be careful because the fella is a very good wordsmith. He's fantabulous. He's fantabulous with words.
Gary, listen to Anselm.
He's very fantabulous and very eloquent. He's eloquent. I have to give him credit for that, right? But he's also very eloquent in not getting things done.
But listen, now, right? The thing about it is, he has done more than talk within the last couple of days because number one, he knows where I stand, and I will confront him face head on. He knows who he's dealing with, right? So, like I said, so far as the exemption things are flowing nicely. I'm getting the right collaboration that I need to get done right now, and I'm happy with the direction things are moving. Should it change, he knows very good but
Gary, perhaps he's doing good because it's not him alone handling it, it's everybody else involved and you in the pot. But if you weren't in the pot, he probably would have dropped the baton long time.
Well, according
to historical record.
The pressure is on. But I had the collaboration way before he came on board. But like I said, I have seen some movements. Maybe he gave the okay, maybe he gave his support, I don't know. All right. But I am seeing the kind of collaboration that I need. And in reference to, especially with the kids in Barbados being under duress from that ash and all that kind of stuff. I am happy with that aspect. I just have a few people that's hanging out there that really needs to get home to, and I'm sure that we're going to get to it. I'm getting, like I say, every minute of the day, I'm getting an approval, some good news, so from different directions, people hanging in there. So things have been really hectic with me, even about almost 3 o'clock this morning. So, and then I on my way to New York, I was on the road and still resolving issues with the kids. 1 minute they want to, 1 minute they don't want to go, and they have to understand that we cannot, if parents, we cannot play this kind of game. The government is in a kind of critical situation here where we are addressing the needs of people to get home, and you can't be bouncing back and forth.
Gary, I hate to spoil things here. So when is he going to open the borders?
Listen to me. I am not privileged to that kind of information, and especially the kind of duress that we are under with the
when is he going to get when is he going to get rid of the exemption policy?
What we focusing right now is the outbreak of the COVID, that they have a drastic outbreak, and they don't even know how they're going to handle it. Right now, the country, the health system is under duress with how to handle it. So they are trying to grasp at that, and I so far I am not trying to be ridiculous at the same time, trying to be reasonable. So I'm getting what I need to get done, and I also understand the nature of things where the under duress because of the massive outbreak with the COVID situation. So we have to observe and what's going on with that. The decision still comes with common sense from the government, Maybe I'm hoping that they would need to close up the quarantine with the people coming home, let them go to their house because the resources will be needed. The medical resources will going to be needed with the hospitals down there. They wouldn't have that amount of resources to allocate to quarantine people as they come into the country. So if you're coming with your negative PCR test, then you should be able to go to your house instead of
Hallelujah.
So this is
Hallelujah.
this is my proposal. This is my
I've been
proposal to
preaching
them
that.
because the duress they're under right now with the medical staffing, they don't have it. If this thing goes way out of hand, they're going to have to make a decision about quarantine the way they're doing it. Those resources are going to be needed with the hospitals that are caring for the COVID patients because that's like I see
Hallelujah.
in one night 225 cases has popped up on what 3 deaths. So
Yeah, we're gonna.
so
Gary,
that's
Gary,
just 1 night.
but Gary, let me just read this. This is the one with the 50 million, right? Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the government will make between 40 to 50 million in aid available to those most affected by the current lockdown. Speaking at the Ministry of Health conference on Monday afternoon, Rowley said the support will be given to those who need it the most. Right? He said Finance Minister Colin Burt has been working on making the funds available since last weekend. The Prime Minister said if the population adheres to the regulations and do what they are required to do, he's hopeful that the country can see a reduction in COVID-19 cases by the end of the month. He said the country can adhere to the regulations as it was done last year and the desired results was reached. Gary, two other things, right, Gary? In this country here, right, you can get vaccinated. If I was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, one of the things I would be doing, Gary, is trying to get all the citizens who are stranded outside of Trinidad and Tobago vaccinated, right? And have them come back home vaccinated and a negative PCR test. That will solve a
Well,
whole lot of problems.
I said them could provide the testing for people so they don't have to run around, especially like in a place like Barbados, where we transition our people. I would like the government to put something in place there where they test our own people, get them on the damn floor, and get them home. All right, our people, our government has dumped our people to be the responsibility of some other countries. That's totally unacceptable. So what we should be doing is getting the PCR, forget the vaccine right now, getting the PCR test in position with our Caribbean airlines in a place like Barbados and wherever they need to, and get our people home. Get our
But
people
Gary,
home. That is what
but
they're supposed to.
Gary, they are not, Gary. They have dug in their heels. They are
Yeah, well,
not
we
going
got
to
to put the
open the
pressure on them for
borders.
that.
Right, and that's what we are doing. They are not going to open the borders for people to come in with a negative PCR test and go on quarantine in their house.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to do that.
What I'm saying here, what I'm seeing, right, based on what the outbreak of the COVID, right, the medical staffing is going to be needed elsewhere. So this kind of thing they're playing house with and dolly house with, they're gonna have to change their plan of action at some point if this COVID thing gets more worse than it is. The medical staffing that is being utilized for quarantine unnecessarily, where some people are not infected, is that it's gonna be have to pulled away at some point. So I mean, this could cause a shift in things. Like how you just said, shift the goalposts getting shifted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So let's see where. I mean, we have to keep putting the pressure where we are. We have to try to bring common sense in the public domain. Educate the population in our thoughts about the way we think, because it seems like people can't speak up and back home there for some reason or the other. At
because
least
Gary,
based on what that video is.
you see, Gary, when the exile and stranded citizens go back home with a negative PCR test, right? They're still going to have to wait to get vaccinated. And the way Trinidad going with vaccine, they might have to wait the next 2 years before they could get
Yeah,
vaccinated.
but Who is going to give we the vaccine here, being an immigrant in a foreign
No,
country?
no, them could go to places and get vaccinated, man. Them could go places. The government
But
of
people,
Trinidad
but
and Tobago
people,
could,
people.
they could work out something with the government of the
Of the
United States
United
of
States of
America
America. Thank
and
you.
let them go and get
They couldn't
vaccinated.
even.
Them
Thank
have to be
you.
proactive. Them not being proactive.
Thank
Them
you.
not
No, listen
proactive.
to me.
Thank you.
You
They
gain them.
may
Look
invoke
at that boy.
nothing.
I glad you gain them so much credit. Eh? I proud of you. I
Thank you.
proud of you. They're not proactive, Gary.
Nope.
They're not.
No.
You,
I saying that given what I'm saying to you, they didn't do nothing in the last year with the United States in reference to our people stranded here and had to pay for a visa when they could have barely buy any food, right? Now, and we have such a good relationship with the United States. You see the thing about it, I have a serious problem. I have a serious problem with advising the Prime Minister because I think I've seen enough evidence to say that the Prime Minister is ill-advised. We didn't have a good foreign affairs minister before Brown, and I mean, I've made all the suggestions there, but this government is not taking the suggestion. Them relationship with the United States is only for their best interest. Okay, they're not acting on the people's interest with their relation with the United States. They never put anything in place. They never even attempt to address the United States. Well, okay, we cause our people to remain in the country beyond their time and overstay their time to address the United States with those visa issues. They never did nothing at all.
But
Okay,
Gary,
so
Gary, go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
As far as the immunization process is taking place here in the United States, I believe I heard advertised that they are not inquiring about your immigration status. You can get inoculated without being a citizen or even a resident. You could probably just be visiting and get it based on what I've been
maybe New
hearing.
York and some places you can do that, but
no, Gary, you
we
can
don't
do it.
know.
I have a partner just come from Trinidad in Miami. He get his first job already. He get his
Like I
first.
said, certain regions will be possible, but
Yeah.
the government ain't taking that into consideration. Look at people fully vaccinated, and they're asking me if they could go home quarantine if fully vaccinated. They are
Gary,
saying,
that's exactly. They are not proactive. All they're interested in, Gary, is to lock down the country so they could bankrupt the country. That's what they're interested in.
I said there's a hidden agenda behind this thing, and we go figure it all down the line. But what I'm telling you is, the lockdown is being done without any consideration, and it is very foolish. Okay, it is very foolish to limit the open hours of the business that are necessary, like the supermarkets and stuff like that. What you should do is to expand the hours so you don't get people congregating at the same time in the supermarket. So when you short the hours, you're forcing a rush and forcing people to gather more than you really want. You have to stretch out things, expand the hours. What I see citizens are not doing is they are not following through with maintaining distance. Like say you have a food stand out there, like I've seen the pictures. They all on top of each other. If you have a food store serving doubles or roti or something, the citizens supposed to maintain that same distance so that the person who's serving you can keep his business going because you're jeopardizing him. When the government see that you all jumping up on top of each other head, they're considering that a risk, and that's why they're shutting it down. So the thing about it is our citizens have a certain amount of responsibility. The government has to utilize common sense, but again, it's too much policing with citizens who just want to jump up on top of each other head. We have to use some common sense. We have to wear our masks. We have to maintain our distance. If the guy selling the dogs on the corner, you have to maintain your safe distance. Simple
Gary,
things like that.
Gary, who tell the
Yeah,
people
listen.
who tell the people to go to Tobago for Easter?
Doc.
Yeah, I know. Go
Because
down there and pick up a whole party.
Who tell the people? So Gary, you see, Gary, I like to speak truth to power, and it's country before party. If
Yes,
I,
but it's not, He tell people go to Tobago. He didn't tell them to jump on top of each other head.
But
But Gary, but
mixed
Gary,
signals again.
if you invite me to come to the big, you think you invite me to go on quarantine? You invite them to go on quarantine? You think you invite them to go on quarantine for Easter? Eh? Come on,
Yeah,
man. You
yeah.
have to be.
I know. But one thing, well, we have to be consistent with what we're doing. You see, the thing about it is, they cut things loose. Everybody go by the river, and we mix in with the immigrants there, and that is what causing the problem. So now we back to a situation here now where everybody is locked down, right? Like I said, the government has. Listen, I am not making excuse with the government, but I am saying at the same time, our people are not living up to their responsibility of following through with certain protocols, and that is jeopardizing and
But
putting.
Gary, a fish doesn't rotten from the tail. A
And
fish does
in the
a,
example.
a fish does not rotten from the tail.
Another prime
If
minister the example.
if you are the leader, you supposed to set the example for everyone else. You can't encourage people to break. You can't encourage people to go do something, and when they go do it, look, Tobago have 4 cases today. Tobago, right? Look, 40 today. When you encourage people to do it, and they do it, and then all of a sudden you want to come and penalize them for doing what you tell them to do. Come on, now, man. Come on, now. Come on. Or you expect to do the same thing and get different results? It's madness.
You can't send mixed messages.
You know you have to send a set. And listen to this. Listen to this one. You're talking about the 60 million vaccine where you can't get no more because the facility get contaminated, right? Once listen, go to America. They gain 500 million of the Moderna vaccine. Write to them early o'clock and tell them we want 2 million. What are you waiting for? Christmas? You're waiting for Christmas to come? Come on, man. Come on, man. No. As Stalin said, we can't go on this way. We can't. And until people decide to stand up and stop taking that kind of dirty stroke, that chain up. Is that set a chain up again? Chain up. All the time. It's always somebody else's fault. Always somebody else. It's the UNC fault, right? It's the woman fault, right? It's always somebody else, and you are the leader. Oh God, man. Oh God, people fed up of that. Or they keep getting chain up. I ain't taking chain up no more. I take chain up for a long time, you know. It's a long time, you know. But boy, something released me. Right? I get released. Nobody, people afraid. I know they're afraid to talk. I know
the fear.
I know the fear. I know the fear. And I understand the fear. You understand? But no, if you are the leader of a country, you have to lead by example.
Yep.
You have to lead by example. You can't be calling people all kind of names. Right? And when you call them, and people call you back names, you upset. You can't. But you could. But you have to be able to take your own medicine when people call you names back.
Yep.
Right? And then you saw the rest of them. When they come on the pond, they wear sunglasses, come on, oh God, look, she call him this name. Look how they calling him, and you calling people all kind of name. You have to lead by example. Leaders lead by example. Oh, they come on.
And progress isn't made through fear. Fear is the coward's way of leadership. Yep.
It's easy for you as a leader to say A, to say B, to say D, but you have to pick your words very carefully. You have to pick your words carefully, right? You can't tell people do this. You can't tell them do that, right? Well, I didn't really tell them to go to Tobago and balance. They tell them come to Tobago, right? Look. We played it here. You tell the people, 10% of the people coming home, right, was tested positive for COVID-19. You is the leader. What is that? Why? Why you have to say that? So you could instill fear into the people. So you are leading with fear. You are putting fear into people, and that's your leadership style. Nah, man, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. We can't go on this way. Nah, listen. Hold up. Look.
Gypsy.
Yeah. Let me get this one here first. Listen to this one over here. Look.
Is Pharaoh still existing? As he before, resembling an Israelite, not being treated right, enslaved day and night. Oh, we just can't go on this way. We just can't go on this way. Please deliver us today. We just can't go on this way. Be like the Israelites still in pain. We just can't go on this way. So send us another Moses again. We just can't go on this way. Oh, oh.
Yeah, listen. I think that it's not easy to run a country, right? But it's easy to have the right people in the right places.
And
Okay.
Slim, we might have a young man backstage want to come in. I don't know if he clicked on the link there.
Okay, I didn't see him.
All right, I'm gonna step out and see where he is and bring me back
Okay.
in, right?
All right. Yeah.
All right, good.
So we just can't continue to do things the same way and expect to get different results. Right?
Well, it's my belief that the Prime Minister has getting the wrong advice in the first one. And that's what's making things worse.
But Gary, he has to have a better sense of discernment. I mean, you could get all the wrong advice, but you have to learn how to double check and fact check.
Yeah. And
as Anslim said, there's Google. If you really want to know what's going on, you can Google and find out.
So Gary,
I mean, I
Gary,
wouldn't say, yeah.
Listen to this young lady. Listen to this. Listen to this.
So all of who want to blame Rowley for this lockdown, talking about he taking bread from people's mouth, all was studying that when it is, all wasn't obeying the COVID rules, when all want to go to the beach and ram it out over the Easter weekend, when all don't want to wear all mask and do the proper thing, when all want to have this party and the slime and the lime like the country not going through a crisis, all was studying that. What all expect the Prime Minister to do? The decision had to be made, and if it wasn't made, we would be in a worse situation. So why it is all blaming the Prime Minister? Why it is all don't take responsibility for all your actions and do the right thing? Do the right thing and stop.
Yeah, Gary, take responsibility for your action. All right. Nowhere did she say anything about the illegal Venezuelan, right, coming into the country, right, through the porous borders and bringing in COVID-19, right? Take responsibility for the action. Nowhere did she say that. You as the leader have to take responsibility for your actions. So you have to lead by example.
Not by VAPs.
Yeah, as market vendors say, the whooping. You know when they play cricket and you're whooping? Every bat you go up, guys, is whoop. You're only whooping. And you hope you hit one or two of them balls. That's what we're doing in Trinidad and Tobago. We're whooping. Well, you could say you're vapsing. We vapsing. Either we whooping or we vapsing. Over and over and over, all the time. Look. But look at this one here. Let me show you this one here. Let me show you this one, right? This is where we as Trinidad and Tobago, where we are ranked, all right? Let me look at it right here. I'm gonna get it right here. Look at this one. Look. Countries where COVID cases, right? New COVID cases in the past month. Right? Look what Trinidad and Tobago is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You see? Look at it. This is on Bloomberg, you know. I make this up. This is on Bloomberg's magazine. Right?
Credible source, a credible source.
Bloomberg, look at it. Look at it. And our only solution is to lock down the country. That is our solution. And Diana, what are we going to do? Let me take that off. Diana. Yeah, Diana, what are we going to do? We're going to bring him back right after the top of the hour. Okay?
Okay, because he's in the back, he's backstage waiting.
Right. So what we're going to do, right? It's in the village with the 𝗪𝗏𝗃 and WZY 95.9 FM. Diana, we have just put this up to show you where COVID-19 is. The virus is threatening the developing world, right? More than ever. And Trinidad is there and ranked like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, with amount of cases in the past month. And all I'm saying is that we want solutions. We don't want rhetoric. The days for rhetoric are over. Put solutions on the table. Lockdown is not a solution. Or let me say this. Lockdown is part of the solution. You can't lock down your country and people can't make a living. Right? Imagine, look, we live here in Jersey. Tommy, we locked down? Tommy going, we locked down?
Negative.
No,
sir. No.
Please, man.
No.
It's sad. It's sad. And people will tell you, yeah, the woman tell you, well, if people did only obey the rules and the laws, we would not be in the condition we in today. If the borders were secure, we would not be in the condition we was in today. You're now gonna look to buy 2 boats. You're now gonna set up a camp up in up by the beach up there with 700 soldiers, right? The only reason why you do that is because it is spreading COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. If you didn't have a spread, you would have continued along as usual. Look, boy, you know. Anyhow, it's in the village with the 𝗪𝗏𝗃, and coming up right after the break, we have a young man from Tobago by the name of Dejan Lewis, a very bright, intelligent young man. And these are the kind of people we want to highlight here in the village with the 𝗪𝗏𝗃 and WZY 95.9 FM, right? And I want all you to do something. All you always have to look below the surface. All you look below the surface.
Sometimes I just get angry when I see somebody watch an ex-man achievement and declare that was easy. They don't see all the struggle and all the failure. They quickly form allegiance to toast the winner. But in this life, there's a truth, and every tree you see have a root. And it's from way below the surface you bring up your food. Now Thomas Edison, the light bulb inventor, this 2000 times he failed before the bulb could light. And when he reached age 67, a fire cost him 2 million. That's when the studio burned to the ground one December night. But he stood strong, faithful to his craft, and 3 weeks later released his first phonograph. You see, he had the stuff great men are made of. It's the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. I say he had the stuff great men are made of. the stuff you could miss unless you look below the surface. Okay, Shaki.
And of course, we are back with you. It's In the Village with the Dark Triplets on WZY 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 6. We're still saying 6, boy. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. That's 7 to 9 p.m. And we have with us here a young man out of Tobago. Let's bring him in here. Let's add him. Is it the Gene? The Gene? Hello, the Gene?
He's on his mic.
Yeah, I think he muted his mic.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
The Gene, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am fantabulous. Welcome to In the Village and the Dark Triplets. That's Diana, Ansem, and Gary. And we have another guy who joined us in the background. They normally call him, Trinidad's do it already, they call him the outside child. But Gene, let me let you know, my father is from 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗴𝗲, Tobago. My father's name is Shaki. He was married on club. How far are you from 𝗪𝗶𝗹𝗹𝗴𝗲?
It's just over the rainforest, a couple miles.
Oh, I like how they say that in Tobago, over the rainforest. Anyway, the Gene is currently 18 years of age and he attends Scarborough Secondary School, 6th form. He was born and raised in the sunny village of Castara and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Did I get that correct? 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Yeah, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but yeah, Tobago by both mother and father, along with his older brother. He said ever since he knew himself as a young man, he was curious for how things work and operate. He will often dismantle things as old phones, for example, to see what makes them up. At age 15, he found his love and passion for automotive technology, and he will stay up all night until morning, sometimes looking at YouTube videos and about performance cars. The passion led him to pursue the mechanical engineering technology subject at his school, in which he was extremely successful at the end of his class. In 2019, he placed first in Trinidad and Tobago and second in the Caribbean region. This was an exciting and a proud moment for him, both himself, family, and friends. So, Dejine, welcome, man. It's always a pleasure to have young, intelligent entrepreneurs out of a small island of Tobago, right, coming in to tell us a little bit more about yourself, and how you get into this, what's it called, mechanical, what is it again? It's mechanical engineering technology.
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah, technology. A little guy from Tobago, man.
So, yeah. So ever since third form, I realized that I fell in love with automotive technology, cars, building cars, race cars, all this stuff. And I actually had a couple of friends. I have a couple of friends that are interested in the same field. So oftentimes during
internet.
Yeah. That's the internet.
That you was having. We have to put him on and bring him in again.
Yeah, he frees up.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do? We're gonna let me see if I could just let me see what I can do here. He froze a little bit. Let me see something. All right, after we move him, and tell him after we move him and bring him back because his internet froze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. He said he's been having trouble there.
Yeah. So I'll remove him and bring him back.
Yeah, but you see the entrepreneurial, even during the pandemic, he tried, he tried to do something, and he followed his love of automotive, So that impressed me, a lot. He's very well spoken. And what I want to highlight, and I know you like it, instead of seeing the young brothers, all the videos on social media, and you see the police with guns shooting them, and here we
he's
have,
back. He's
yeah.
back.
Yeah, back. Sorry
Sorry,
about that.
sorry about that.
That's all
Yeah,
right. No,
we're
we know
back.
the
That's all
internet. We
right.
get the
Yeah, we know it
connectivity
go.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it go. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was so I was about to pick my subjects to, the fourth form, fifth form. Yes, you have to pick your subjects from third form. So I saw mechanical engineering technology and I instantly became excited. So I decided to choose the subjects. My parents guided me with choosing my other subjects as well. And that was when I was about 14 years. I started doing the mechanical engineering at school. I started doing welding, fabricating, machining, all these other stuff in the class. I enjoyed the class a lot. We worked on small projects, go-karts, drift trikes. These small projects we worked on to build our knowledge. So at fifth form, I actually set a goal for myself. I told myself that I wanted to get a distinction in this subject. I knew that a distinction wasn't really recognized by this government anymore, but it was a personal goal for me. So as I got my results, after I did exam and I got my results, I saw that I had got the distinction. So I was elated. Eventually after that, I didn't know that there was something called a merit list that CXC releases every year. So one night I came home from a school awards actually. I came home, they gave me an award for top mechanical engineering student to the class. So when I came home the night, I saw a message from one of my teachers. So I was like, I was confused. I didn't know what he would have wanted at that time. So I sort of opened it and I saw my name among different countries, Guyana, Jamaica, and then I started seeing all these different technical institutes and technical colleges and things, and then I saw Scarborough Secondary. Well, I ran to my mother first and showed her, and she was mind blown. So after that, well, I have a good friend. He controls the Scarborough Secondary Facebook page. I sent it to him and he said he will make a post. So ever since that, they made the post and it went viral. It went viral all over. It was like 1 point something thousand shares, over 2,000 likes on Facebook. Yeah, so fast forward into, that was late 2019. Late 2019, they actually did a little ceremony at Magdalena Grand, in which they gave me an award for placing top in Trinidad and Tobago and second in the region. Fast forward into 2020. Yeah, continue. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so fast forward into 2020, COVID-19 came and basically the whole year was a slow year for me. I think I mentioned that.
So you said you in upper form, right? Upper form?
Upper six, yes.
Upper six is like, is that like, I have to kind of get
A
a
level.
hold of it.
A level.
So that's like 12th grade in the United States of America. Edina?
Yeah. A level to A level. Okay, on your way to, but like it's kind of like first year of college.
Oh, okay. All right.
Kind of, it mirrors that, yeah.
So, do you have any goal to go to college in the United States of America or outside of Trinidad and Tobago?
Probably, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm not sure how possible that will be as of now.
Have you ever thought about taking the SAT exam?
Yes, I actually have thought about it. When I began sixth form, I was actually thinking about it, but before I finished the first unit 1, that's lower 6, COVID-19 came. So I knew the world was going to be on a shutdown for a while. So I never really proceeded with the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, just as trying to give you advice, you know, and trying to inspire you for a better tomorrow. I think one of the things you need to just think about is taking the SAT, because from the SAT you could actually get an academic scholarship to many different schools across the United States of America. And seeing that what you're doing, you know, is it's so commendable. I think you will do very good in the SAT. You know, there's also the ACT, there's the SAT and the ACT. And if you score very well in those tests, you can actually get a full academic scholarship to many schools in the United States of America, because they are looking for bright and intelligent kids like you. I can tell you that because, you know, I work at a university. That's why.
Yes.
So that's just kind of one of my advice to you, you know, as a young man, you know, looking to get to that next level, you know, because I can see your passion. You know, I can tell, you know, you know, I mean, you could just see, you know what I mean? And when we have people like you, you know, we here are trying to uplift you as much as possible for you to be as successful as you can be, you know, and I'm sure Diana can give you my number, and, you know, you can get in contact with me and we can talk and we can see how, you know, we can move forward, you know, with helping you kind of get to the next step, which could be, you know, college here in the United States of America.
Yep. Tommy, you got anything to say to the
Yes.
young scholar here, man? Talk to him. Talk to him.
I'm truly impressed with his dedication to his passion, and he definitely will do great in the future. He has to realize that technology is changing rapidly, as a matter of fact, especially automotive technology, and because we are now looking at renewable energy, and I can see that in years to come, fossil fuels and gasoline automobiles and stuff is going to be obsolete, since electric cars are taking off like wildfire. So he has a bright future. Not only that, he can start thinking about past university, where he would be probably introducing new ideas to Trinidad and Tobago. Because I think it's time that we get some kind of manufacturing in the region of some kind of automotive.
Yeah. So, Eugene, can I ask you something? How did you, how did you avoid the vices that are out there for a young man to go down the wrong path?
Well, it's all about your mindset. It's all about what you believe is right, what you know you want for yourself in the future. A lot of young people, you have a lot of young men that you often see on the block, on the roadside, on the streets, and they are actually very talented and very educated, but they just never follow their dreams. They always listen to what other people told them, and other people sometimes demotivate them to continue their passion. So it leads to them being on the street selling drugs and these sort of stuff. But as long as you can sit and think to yourself and look outside the box and say, I can do this, it is really possible.
So Eugene, I noticed that you are also an entrepreneur. You have begun your business, Precision Build TNT, where you currently do welding, fabrication, and a list of more services. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I actually came up with this idea last year. During last year, as I told you all, it was a very slow year for me. I wasn't able to do as much progression in personal progression. So coming to the end of last year, I told myself that this 2021 may be similar to last year, and I wasn't going to let this year be a slow year as well. So I sat and I started brainstorming, coming up with ideas, thinking about stuff that I can do to continue my passion while the world is basically on a lockdown. And I came up with this business idea. I told myself I had the skill. I already had some recognition in the field, and I think that I would have do great. So I started working towards it. I told my parents about the idea. They told me it was and I started contacting people, reaching out to people to assist me with locating certain tools and equipment and these stuff.
Yes. Hello.
Very good.
All right.
Very impressed. Very impressed with you. You know. And you should and I like the fact that you stuck to your dream and you didn't let, some people are complaining that, oh, they're depressed and they're anxious and the COVID, but you took that and you took the lockdown and you launched your business. It shows that you used the negative and you made a positive out of it. And I'm impressed with that. Very impressed with that. Right, Anselm?
Yeah, no, of course. That's why I asked him about it because, I always tell my kids too as well. I told my son when he was in college, I said, listen, even though you're going to get a college degree, I want you to start a business. I told my daughter the same thing. Even though you're going to go to college, I want you to start a business. And I can say that both my son and my daughter have started their own businesses. My daughter is just going to graduate from college. My son has been graduated from college, and he have a business of his own. Even though he works for a company as a project manager, he has a business on their own. And my daughter, I think she might be a billionaire sometime soon. She also has a business of her own. So it's nice to see you, in a small island like Tobago, thinking like being an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur is something, you could work 24 hours a day for yourself, and you know that once you put that time in, that time is for you and your business, So it's really and truly fantabulous to see that you at this young age already thinking about, well, I've already started a business, and doing things with your business. So, all we can do is to continue to mentor you. You need, of course, you have, Diana and myself, and we are willing to mentor individuals like you, in order to inspire you for a better tomorrow. So tell yourself that you have gained an additional mentor in myself, in order to help you as you go forward.
I have one more question for him. Anselm, you always preach about access to capital and stuff. Did you find any hiccups, any hurdles in getting access to capital to get the tools you needed to launch your business?
Not really, because what I have been saving for a really long time now, even before.
Gene, hold 1 minute. Diana, I'm gonna leave for 2 minutes. You guys just carry on, okay?
Okay. Good.
Okay, right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so even before this COVID-19 pandemic, I have been saving a lot. My mother actually opened the account for me, and I was able to save a lot of money before. I told myself from a long time ago that eventually I will want to open my own business one day. I wasn't sure what it would be as yet, but it came to this point now that I'm able to use out of that money and invest in these equipment and tools.
And what would your eventual career be? What do you see yourself, eventually, settling into and saying, well, this is what I would support my family, with, well, what do you see yourself doing?
Well, I see myself in the technology field, probably doing a degree in computer science or some sort of engineering degree is what I currently have my mindset on and working towards.
Any specialty, because though that discipline is wide, that area is wide. Any specialty? Would you specialize in anything?
Yes, with automotive, basically automotive technology. Each one has a big role in the automotive industry.
Okay, all righty. And what would you say to to the younger generation, the younger brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago, who have dreams and aspirations, and who may see, well, we ain't going nowhere. It's your COVID. I don't see any way out because I too, I have emerged from challenging circumstances and I use my life as a platform to empower youth, like, those that are at risk. You're definitely not an at-risk youth, but you're positive and you have the support and you seem to become from a nurturing and a loving environment, unlike myself. What would you like to say to those persons who, say, well, they ain't no jobs for us here, and why studying this and why going to school? I just going and hang out on the block. What would you say to them, to those people?
Well, the best advice I can give to you, number one, is always be true with yourself. Always know what is meant for you and what works for you. If you try something that does not work for you, then maybe that's not the part that is meant for you. So always be true with yourself in everything that you do. Always know that, okay, I'm trying this and I see in progress, I will continue with this. And find your passion for something. Everyone has a passion. It's just there to find that passion and continue to work on it.
Okay.
And
you go ahead.
Yeah, so and being on the block and being on the streets is not going to lead you to a very long life. You'll actually have a lot of hiccups with a lot of altercations with police, a lot of gang violence and all this stuff. So if you want a safe life, find a passion and pursue it.
And I bet sometimes you recall they tease you for being such a bookworm or a nerd, right? But you took that title with like a champion. Where he always welding something. He don't want to hang with me. What would you say to a child, a brother, a young brother or sister who is academically inclined and doesn't want to hang, and they're being teased because they follow their passion? What would you say? What would you say to that child?
Well, actually, first of all, a lot of people are surprised with what I do because I am a very simple person. I'm not always home or in the house. I'll actually hang around. I'll actually hang around the villagers, everyone. So a lot of people see it and it's like they're surprised. Like, I didn't know that you have all this skill or this talent. They didn't know that I'm this intelligent. A lot of people, because I'm not always behind a book. You will not always see me behind a book, but I always know I basically plan my stuff and there's a time for everything. I know there's a time for everything.
Balance life.
Right. You have any questions for him, Tommy?
Well, I'm glad that he has a balanced outlook on life. And how do you say your name? Dejean or Dejan?
Dejan.
Dejan. Okay, Dejan Lewis. Yeah, I'm impressed with your focus, because being focused at the early ages is a very important attribute you need in life if you want to be successful. And I hope you continue. I would get your information and see what I can do with it in the circles that I operate, and see if I can make a presentation concerning your future. I'll do my best to see how I can help.
That's a man with heavy pull there. Yeah, Rutgers University would be a good fit for him, right?
I think the best fit around is NJIT.
NJIT, okay, all right. I forgot about them. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the best fit for him around. I'm gonna get your information from. I'm gonna get your information from Diana.
Yeah, and what I want to say to you, John, don't you're gonna meet the naysayers on your path where you're going, right? Now I'm a motivational speaker. You're going to meet some people who are going to try their best. They're gonna be like cars with no gasoline in it. If you have a car with no gasoline, where you going? Nowhere, right? You're gonna meet people like that. Hey, what are you doing there, boy? Where you're wasting your time. Don't listen to them, yeah? You stick to you look at your goal, your vision ahead of you that you have right now. You see that fire, that passion burning inside of you there? Don't ever let go of that. I never let go of mine. right? And I get where I wanted to go. Don't ever let go of it. Always, because sometimes even in studies at school, at classes, you might meet a class that it beating you, you know, you're like, I can't get this concept down. Why I ain't getting this? You burn the midnight oil, you know, and then you wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you look at it again. Oh, this would give me a hard time. Man, I got this down pat. Don't ever let no one or nothing steer you from your path of becoming that engineer that you want to be. You hear me? Stick to your path, right? And Mr. Anselm and Mr. Tommy and myself, and we get you on that first step, and you hold your head up high and never stray from the learning and the discipline that your parents instill in you. You know, don't stray from the never don't go chasing waterfalls. Remember that song that by TLC? Don't go chasing waterfalls that you don't know about. You might fall into a ditch or something. You stick to the learning that you know. You know what I'm saying? Don't stray. Don't stray from the path. Got big bad wolves waiting there for you to yam you in this world. Right? That's just my way of talking to a young brother. But I'm very impressed by your English, the way you speak. You're very well spoken. You're very poised and all these things. You hold on to those things because first impression always counts. Okay? All right. You're welcome.
Okay. Remain focused.
Yep. Answer?
Yeah, I'm back. Let me see. I'm back. It's always a wonderful when we have and you guys see I changed my outfit because I had to run outside for, for a quick minute, you know. But again, Dejean, it's always a pleasure, you know, to have you. Dejean. I'm pretty bad with names, man. That's why, you know, my name, the ladies call me handsome. My name is Anselm, but the ladies call me handsome. Dana, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, you know where he from? You know where he from? 𝗏𝗏. You know what 𝗏𝗏 mean in French? Oh,
I don't even think Dejean know what 𝗏𝗏 is.
You know what 𝗏𝗏 is?
Nah, Dejean don't know what
Dijon. He never hear about 𝗏𝗏. Good. All right. See?
Nah. You don't. But you hear about Roxbo though. You hear about Roxbo.
You hear about Laventille?
Of course, you hear about Laventille. You must hear about Laventille.
Wait. You ever hear about Lavant Hill?
Lavant Hill. Yeah. You know. So, Dijon, what we would like to do, all right? We would like to always have an update with you. And if you know any of your friends who are along the same track as you, we will make time here for them at WZY 95.9 FM. Okay, to tell their story as well. Just as how you're able to tell your story, that they can tell their story. And we don't want you to be a stranger to WZY 95.9 FM. We want you to come back, you know, very soon again and talk about things that you have done since the last time we have spoken. So we could continue to make this, you know, a mentoring relationship where we can help you, you know, inspire you for a better tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything else you would like to say?
Well, I would just like to say thank you guys for having me on tonight. I appreciate all the support, all the love, and I will definitely keep going hard. I think I'm a little too stubborn for people to stop me. So I want to give thanks to God for that, and I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very kindly, man. And remember, I have a quote that says, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. I am not the most talented guy. And you know, let me give you a quick story. You know, today there was an article of me in the Runner's World magazine, right? And it's funny, eh? Let me say it's funny. You ought to talk like a Trinidadian. It's funny, eh? You know, Trinidadian. And I've been outside of Trinidad almost 40-something years ago, and I still like it's funny, eh? So a friend of mine sent me a text. He said, "Boy, I see you in the Runner's World magazine." And to be honest with you, I absolutely forget that they was gonna highlight me in the Runner's World magazine. It's a friend of mine had to remind me. And then someone else on Instagram sent me another post. They said, Ansem, we saw you in the Runner's World magazine. And I'm like, yeah, you know, yeah, the magazine came out today. So I had to remind myself. So I just told my wife, I said, yeah, do you know there was an article me on the Runner's World? She said, yeah, right. You know, so when I'm in my house, I'm not a world record holder. I'm just ordinary Ansem. So again, Digi, it's always a pleasure. We thank you so much, and we want you to keep on that same track that you're going. And at some point in time, I'm going to send you the PDF file for a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. And I want you to continue thinking big. All right?
Before you go to John, what do you do for as an extracurricular activity?
Outside of
academics,
welding and
what
stuff.
And you know, what do you do for extracurricular activity?
Okay, well, most likely it's just like play sports on the sand. When I'm in Castor, most likely we play sports, football, and this stuff on the sand.
Say your magic word.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
All right.
All right. So again, thank you so very kindly, and we want you to continue with the hard work. Okay.
And tell your mom
thanks.
she raised a wonderful young man. Wonderful young man. Tell her that.
Thank you. She's actually listening right now.
Oh, she's listening? Oh, mom.
Right.
I'm sorry I don't have a daughter to introduce to him.
Listen, I want to improve on the wonderful.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at her.
I want to say you have raised a fantabulous, splendiferous, and tremendiferous young man, and keep up the wonderful job that you are doing.
Oh, boy.
Yes. And remember now, your son have acquired a few more mentors in order to help him on his journey to be even more successful.
And he speaks so well, and I, as an author, I appreciate that, you know. He speaks so. I'm sorry I don't have any children or daughter to introduce to him. Oh.
Why you want to introduce him man? Why you want to introduce him man to one of your daughter or something?
He would be a good husband for my daughter.
How you know that?
He's not there yet.
Right,
I would have made sure of that. Trust me.
We know this daughter thing, you know. What kind of thing is that?
No, I like him, so my daughter would have had to like him.
But let me say again, we really appreciate your son coming from such a small island and doing fantabulous things. We want you guys to continue with the hard work, okay?
Yes. All right.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Blessings.
Right. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
So guys, I want you guys to continue for 1 minute. I don't know how to put on my avatar. How do I put on my avatar?
Yeah, you hit camera.
I hit camera?
Yeah.
Hit camera.
CAM.
For me?
Yeah. So wait, ducking out going.
Oh, I have something that I'm going to do for a minute.
A minute? Yeah. You know what a minute is, Tommy? You know what I mean, right?
No, that mean nothing.
That mean 10, that mean till the end of the show.
Yeah, so listen, Diana, I'm going to put you on solo, right? So you're going to be showing on the screen, and then you're going to talk in and Tommy in the background, and I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. So Diana, you on the screen, eh? You had to talk.
Tommy, so what we talking about now, eh?
So you're going to be interviewing me?
Yes, Tommy. So as the commissioner in Jersey, tell me some of the things you do now besides being the outside child.
Well, so I'm an interviewer this time. Is that what's going on? But it's okay.
Yeah, I'm interviewing you.
Well, what Mayor 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏 has put together a Caribbean commission that would be a sort of a guide or his guide on Caribbean matters, and would be a direct link to the Caribbean community. And that's what we do. We deal with Caribbean matters. We try to celebrate all the Independence Days, ceremonies, and we are into linking up the Caribbean with this city. Part of our plan is to make sister cities from the Caribbean to the city and stuff like that. We are working on some other projects like cultural exchange and so on.
And how is the mayor? Is he overly? What are his thoughts on the stranded citizens situation? Is he aware of it?
Well, yeah, the mayor's office is aware of it. I brought it to their attention, and it was relayed to me that if there are any persons in our city who need assistance, that they should come forward. I mentioned it on the show before that they should come forward, and the city would assist them in whatever way they can. I mentioned it, but as you know, Trinidadians in these parts, they seem to be very proud.
Yeah.
So even though I personally know there are a lot of stranded citizens, they're not really in dire straits, so to speak. But a lot of them are not even applying for exemptions because, as far as they're concerned, they'll just wait until whenever Trinidad opens up again, and they'll travel. And
I know, but
some have applied for exemption.
But waiting until Trinidad opens up and that could be, now they're going back under another quote unquote lockdown, and I keep telling them to, this.
By and large, many persons here are very comfortable, so they're not going out of their way to be screaming and hollering for the opportunity to get back home, even though they want to go home and they keep expressing. Because I know many people, they keep expressing the need to get home, but they are not knocking themselves out.
Let's see. So, as early in the program, Gary seems to be suggesting that Mr. Hines is working with us, and he sees some progress. You think this is just? You think this will continue? This positiveness, allegedly, we see some positivity coming through. But you think he will?
Impressed. I'm impressed with what Gary said. I feel a lot better about the situation than with Stuart Young, because apparently, and listening to Mr. Hines's address, most recent address to the nation, I think that he seems to be a little bit more in touch with reality. I think he's gonna make the Prime Minister look a lot better than the other guy did. I'm not even gonna call his name right now. Because Young Stuart or whatever they call him.
Mr. Captain Fall Down.
Yeah, I think Hines has shown that he's a lot more sensitive in some regards, even though everybody has to work with the playbook that they are being given, and I can clearly see that he started off with the same playbook that the other guy was following, but he's now, even though he has been following that playbook, based on what Gary has been saying, I can see that he is a lot more accommodating, and that's a positive thing. What I want him to do is recognize the fact that we are the only country in the world who put an exemption policy in place for citizens, and that looks really bad. That's why I was saying before that even in the commission, I feel ashamed, to talk about Trinidad and the exemption policy. No one else has that.
And I'm trying to procure a mental health expert to come in sometime next week, if not Thursday too.
I know a mental health expert, but I don't know if I can get her to come in.
But I'm trying to get someone specifically from Trinidad and Tobago who understand the landscape and the culture of the people, that they can speak more intimately about, the far-reaching tentacles of this, this was COVID-19, because they're, quote unquote, like you all like to say, they're on the ground, and, to talk about the fallout, the psychological fallout that people are going to suffer from this COVID, and I'm going to start using national pause or national or temporary stop, because I know, this word lockdown gives me, images of being in a prison. So we need to start, and see if we could force them to say temporary stop or national pause instead of this lockdown. I don't even want to hear it. So yes, he's back with us now after he ran to take I don't know what.
No, I had some little things that I had to do. Sometimes things come up and you just have to do it.
Yeah.
But one to Gary.
Gary go on. Like Phantom ride out of town.
He's still on the
You ride out of town?
Yeah, the Phantom go about the business. Yeah. No,
but we had so much. We had so much. We had the MSJ2 talking about the roadmap. Let's quickly play this one. This is the MSJ leader Abdullah Mohammed talking about the roadmap.
And a year ought to be long enough for certain things to be put in place to ensure that the economy was beginning to be diversified in some areas, that support would be given to sectors that require that support. Particularly now in the context of the need for a second lockdown, the economy should have been in a better place than it is now. If that roadmap for recovery, A, was a good plan, I don't know what it was, and B, if the plan was being implemented.
Abdullah is calling on government to provide support to those persons who have found themselves once again without jobs at this time.
We can't be throwing our people in the bamboo like this and just expect them to survive. Let's remember too that tens of thousands of workers lost their jobs, quite apart and separate from the COVID pandemic. You had the Petrotrin closure in November 2018. ArcelorMittal before that, workers have gone home at Unilever, at UTT, at Yara, and many other companies, private companies, over the last 2 years.
Abdullah is also taking issue with some of the statements made by authorities since the start of this second lockdown, and he's calling on all the powers that be to get on the same page.
I'm also calling for the Prime Minister, the Commissioner of Police, the Attorney General, Minister of National Security to meet with the Law Association and so on, and to get the act together so that there is a clear understanding of what the law is, what the responsibilities are of the authorities, and what their powers are, and what the rights of citizens are, because we cannot have the rolling incursion on rights under the guise of a pandemic.
Renessa Cutting, TV6 News.
That is the leader of the MSJ, boy, talking. Some people don't really take that fella serious. I don't know why, but But hey, go ahead, Tommy.
I said that's David Abdullah you're talking about, right?
Yeah. This was a new video just released today. I don't know if you all saw it, but take a listen to this.
Eat a sandwich home sometimes, because what we really want is to break the opportunity for the virus to go from person to person. To do that, you have to isolate.
Excuse boss, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but could we also stop the donkey blaming, shaming, stereotyping, and victimization? They are human in the scene, so stop calling my name in the bullshit. It is unfair, it is unwarranted, and grossly inaccurate. Thank you. Stop it now.
God. We had a gal comedy. We had a gal comedy in the village. Hey, but did you hear the video about the guy who said that Trinidad was going to the sun? Trinidad said that a plane to the sun. Was serious. Listen to this.
Scientists in Trinidad and Tobago believe they can build a rocket to go to the sun. Scientists in the United States said it is impossible that a rocket cannot go to the sun, it will be melted. The scientists of Trinidad and Tobago said they are not going in the day, they are going in the night.
Oh Lord, that kind of super
Oh my God!
Hey, I tell you, Rose says she like some shit. Rose can so what? Yeah, you know. But for all that's going on in Trinidad and Tobago, boy, every single day is something new. Every day something new, man. Every day something new. You know, it just seemed like, you know, it's funny, eh? And Tommy, you should know this, eh? When the UNC was in power, eh? Or think about Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was president, almost every single day, boy, was something happening in the country. Since Joseph Biden came into power, boy, it's like was a boy, I can exhale, boy.
Yeah.
You can exhale.
You know, you can exhale. It seems like it be same type of thing going on in Trinidad and Tobago now, boy. Every day you wake up, boy, you go, what will happen now, boy? You know, what is the next thing going to happen? You can't exhale, man. And to me, that is sad, man. That is sad.
Yep.
And what is even more sad for me is a government that I support.
Well, I guess I share some of the blame too, eh?
Boy, I don't know, boy. I just feel that to me, it seemed like if somehow, boy, the government do not have any solution to the problems of Trinidad and Tobago.
Nope.
You know, it's only in time of adversity you really know what it is you're working with, you know. Because had it been smooth sailing and we didn't have this crisis going on in the world today, we wouldn't really have known what metal they're made out of.
So it seems like, you know, they don't want to silence you, mute you, or cancel you out, you know, of stuff. But what happened? They kidnapped Gary, or we had to go find a ransom to find him?
I don't know. But the only thing you have to keep yourself sane is to keep yourself laughing, boy. That's the only
Children go to school and learn well. Because when I went to school, they had a quiz in school. Next day, I'll write something. What does kill people? A quiz. So me and the other fellas, we do a quiz. Say, what does kill people? One mark up, an essay on cancer. She can't understand cancer. One mark up, she can't understand it. Say, that man, I don't understand it take because it means that I don't take like a stroke.
Oh, man. You know, listen, I have to tell all of the truth, that, and the reason why I just play these kind of things is that you have to be able to laugh in these times here, boys. Because these times are these times are like no other. You know, a pandemic is like no other, boy. And you have to get it right. Look at Joseph Biden, boy. Joseph Biden getting it right, you know. He's getting it right.
And he came in behind the 8 ball.
He came in behind the 8 ball. And it's like, they say, boy, like he's spending. But the guys realize that he came in with a plan. What he has to do in order to make America, as Donald Trump said, great again. And he's actually making America great again.
Work again.
Right. And Donald Trump was just talking words. But Joseph Biden is bringing it true to power. You know, it's funny, eh? When the pandemic first started, You know, boy, it was scary, boy. Scary. Every single day, boy, was a scary day. You know, today, for the past few months or so, it was more of a calming. The pandemic is still here, but it's still calm. You don't hear Joseph Biden coming and telling people the pandemic is ravaging all across the world. You know, and we under a pandemic. You know, and he don't come with them things. He come with a sort of a soothing kind of feeling to put you at ease, and you feel at ease when the man who is leading put you at ease.
And also too, Governor Cuomo, his lead presentation of the information, you know, guiding us throughout the pandemic, you know, I found to be calming, you know. But now they want to claim he was hiding and doctoring numbers, and I ain't even listening to that. But because it was calming, because when people drive, it's all these debt. You look at other stations, you see the debt toll here and the debt toll there, and then I go to Governor Cuomo. I'm like, okay, he gives me a sense of hope, a sense of hope. So that I was looking for. You give people a sense.
And Diana, you are so right, Diana. I think, Diana, that people want give them some type of hope, boy. Give people that it's like the only hope we gain is hopeless. We not getting people want some hopeful. You want people you want it to be full, not less. We seem to be gaining hope, but it's less instead of it being full, boy. When people wake up, people don't want to hear, boy, oh God, we had to lock down the country again. You can't go and you can't go and do a walk, right? It seems the only thing we can think about is to lock down the country.
Here come the Gary.
That's the only thing we can do. Maybe Gary got some good news for we. Gary, give me some good news now. Maybe you talk to your partner.
Boy,
And your partner,
my partner busy doing the work. He doing less talk. he doing less talk and more work. And that's what I like right now. When I need to talk to he, I go tell he what I had to tell he. But the thing about it is, I've seen some action with him within the last couple of days. And let's see how it flows. We will address him accordingly where we see they need to be. But we have to deal with the Prime Minister directly, Ansem. The Prime Minister is chief in command, and he has allowed certain things to take certain direction for far too long. They are very arrogant in their approach. Yes, we are seeing they're doing lockdown without providing any means for citizens to support themselves. They are doing lockout, where all people was locked out and no regards to how they're supposed to support themselves or make any greater effort. I had to cuss and get on in the beginning for this thing to get going, and then I had to fight and get on again for them to reinstate it when they're telling people there was a deadline. Okay, and they want to play, it's all their idea. But it's people behind the scenes like me who get on with them. All right. So what I'm saying to you is, our brother Heinz is communicating. The Prime Minister needs to do the same thing, and we could flush out the glitches. We could flush out the foolishness, and let's get some effective performance on the ground and service delivery towards our people. We can do it. Open the door for the members of the diaspora to pitch in and help the government of Trinidad and Tobago. That's our country. That's our people. Okay. But these guys have acted very arrogant, Ansem, from day one. That is why I went politically harsh against them, because I did everything to try to assist them. There was, when in an emergency situation, there are no party politics. That gone out the window in a minute. That's supposed to go out in a minute, and we're supposed to put a plan of action, an inclusive plan of action, where you are, as the leader of the country, saying, party politics aside, this is a time for we all to come together as a people. We are fighting something that we don't even know what we're dealing with. Number one.
But Gary, listen to this. Watch this one. Listen to what this fella say. This is your next partner. Right? He said a newspaper today wrote emotively about a street vendor who said that she will lose 80,000 in sales over the next 3 weeks. This equivalent to 1.4 million in annual income. Yet most such vendors declare no income and pay no tax. Is that fact not equally important to the media? You hear that, fella? You hear that, fella?
Yep.
You hear that, fella?
You see how we spin it? You see how we spin it?
You hear that? But him? Arrogance to the fullest.
Yeah.
Arrogance to the fullest. He don't have to worry about that. He don't have to worry about that. She has to worry about that. He or she, whoever the vendor is.
You see them $1,000 fine that the police giving out there? You see them $1,000 fine the police giving out there? That fella have a lot to do with it.
Boy, you see that fella? Please, them fellas and them. I want to tell you, boy. I listen. Them fellas and them too arrogant, boy. The arrogance of them fellas and them, right? Who cares if the one making $3 million? She making nothing. Woman.
She ain't thieving. She ain't thieving. And she ain't selling nothing illegal.
Anymore. Nothing. And that is your arrogance where you will come out and talk about. There is plenty of them. And you see them top 5 or 6 ministries. Well, I don't know, Gary. It seems like your boy trying to be a little different now, right?
Well, like I say,
he's trying to live down.
It's only a few days.
Live down. His name is to live up there.
It's only a few days he there, right? And I seen some things turning up, right? Like I said, we will keep an eye and we will address him accordingly. But he's doing one most important thing that is very valuable. He has reached out. He is communicating. He's accessible. Not like Stuart Young, who was dodging we.
You had to give him credit for that.
Okay.
I gave him full credit for that.
Okay.
I give him credit.
Not like Stuart Young, who was dodging me.
Yes, Stuart Young was absolutely a waste of time. He was a waste of precious space.
Stuart Young had his own agenda. Stuart Young didn't play our mind and your people, brother. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? None of us here. He didn't care about none of us out here. So what we have to do is we have to keep up the fight, keep up what we're doing, stay right in their faces. And just kind of draw the members of the diaspora into the fight, because this is their fight. This is not ours alone. Everything concerns them too. So they have to join on board. This ain't no room for no spectators. We ain't got no room for spectators, brother. This is a war. This is a revolution. You either in or you out.
But Gary, your boy having a candlelight visual thing on Friday. You know that?
Who's that? My partner who could get exemption?
No, your partner in Trinidad, man. The fellow who was coming with the exemption thing, he started talking about it for one day and then he dropped it.
Yeah, that's the same fellow talking about. That's the one who could get exemption for people.
Yeah,
that's the one who got on my page. That is my one who got on my page. I'm telling people he could get exemption for them.
Yeah, they have a candlelight vigil on Friday at noon. Yeah. All roads lead to Port.
Yeah, everybody have a political agenda. Me and Lauren for no Prime Minister. Okay? Yeah. We just trying to help we people here. And we will make enough noise as we have to. We will remain. I intend to remain a force in defense of our people. Where we see need, where there seems need be to address issues, we will address it. Full throttle ahead. So we will keep them on their toes, answer. Keep them on their toes. We don't need no contract from none of them.
But Gary, I surely always saw this one.
Member Boodoo.
Thank you. No, just one more question here. Would you play Mass?
Personally or during the season?
No, advice.
I mean, I don't think there's a risk of coronavirus to the country, given all we have discussed. When we speak of influenza, it is carnival and close mingling of people is considered a threat to public health, spread of disease generally. The two main things you get is common cold, influenza, and gastroenteritis during any carnival season or any season where you have big gatherings coming together. So the precautions are necessary, but I mean, everybody has to assess your individual risk. And of course, the people belonging to the high-risk groups are more prone, those over 65, children under 5, pregnant women, those with immunocompromised states, have to pay particular interest, diabetics, asthmatics, and the like. So you have to gauge your personal risk. You can ask your medical practitioner what they think in those circumstances as well. All right?
Thank you very much. And
virus to the country, given all we have discussed.
Gary,
I hear you.
Diana, do you guys know there's a refugee camp, a Venice refugee camp in Trinidad and Tobago?
I seen a clip on it.
Okay, so look at here.
And then washing clothes for this well, bed, wash waste, and a tank of 200 of water.
Huh? They got well. Oh. So this is a school?
Yeah.
Oh, this is very nice. So you teach?
Yes.
Teacher? So Imam, this is your school and these are two teachers here.
Wow, and teaching them English as well.
English?
English or Espanol?
Español y tiene los miércoles viene un profesor para
Some people is coming
los miércoles viene un profesor para inglés
and a teacher is coming
un solo día los miércoles nada más un solo día todos los
Teach English
miércoles.
as well. Okay,
So you can
both
speak
Spanish
both.
and English.
You can speak both English and Spanish. That's very nice.
How long is here now? ¿Cuántos años en el Trinidad?
Tenemos vamos para 2 años ya. Para 2 años.
2 years, dos años.
La escuelita no puse la libre.
I don't know now, boy.
2 years in Trinidad.
2 years in Trinidad.
I wonder if they have an ID card, boy.
There must be an ID card already, what do you mean?
Let me tell you something, them people have more privilege than you and me right now, right?
Watch now. If I go to Piarco, which I was told, and I stay, the lady tell me behind the counter, they can give you 3 months with a certain passport, right? And you overstay and you don't go in tongue. You don't go in tongue and apply for extension. You know, they go come for you, you know, answer them. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
let them
okay,
come. When they give me a rough time when I go home there, right?
And you're born there?
Yeah.
Right.
What's the problem? Is there a problem? She
you're born there.
She couldn't explain that. You
So,
know,
so are they legal or are they illegal?
What do you think?
What do you think?
I'm asking.
Look, go and put back on the other shirt now.
You mean the government just overlooking that then? Overlooking them then? Huh? No, I just asking.
Now they fall on the arm. How old that video is?
That's just recent.
Well, they fall under your under Gary good friend, Mr. Hines portfolio. And she says she in Trinidad 2 years. And poor me, I go down there. Well, if I overstay my welcome now, overstay my time, I have to go and get a claim to stay where I'm born.
Tell them in order to tell them what I say, right? Hold day what, right?
When she told me that, you know, I said, what do you mean I have to go and get a claim to stay? Well, I'm born here, I can't just stay here, so no, you can't. I said, but what jail is this?
Yeah. They interrogated me at Piarco. We are going and watching me like a lion, right? So I said, where am I going? I go back to my mother's house where I'm born. I go to work with you. What's the problem? You understand? What's the problem? They can't answer.
Yeah. Where you come here for? How long you plan to stay? I say I stay as long as I please. But you know you're only allowed 3 months. I mean, you're only allowed 3 months. I'm born in Paget, and I'm sure I'm born here before you. So they need to revisit that stupid stamp they like to put in passport of us that born there coming with a different passport now. All they need to revisit that, Minister Hines, making me feel like making me feel like we's criminal or terrorists.
And my grandmother used to use a word saying "𝗁𝗁," so I asked her the meaning of that. All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
God, what you coming here for, and how long I plan to stay here as a bloody well, please. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we can come and we can remove. You can remove me and send me away. There you go.
Is that kind of maliciousness for those of us who left the country and tried the better we
Yeah.
You know, is a maliciousness like that going on?
What problem is that one, Tommy? Which one is that?
Huh?
How long you staying?
Yeah.
In Trinidad? Oh, yeah, you just ask me that all the time. Tell them how long. I tell them a week, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Tell them any.
My passport say I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. Asking a stupid question. Huh?
I always carry 2 passports. So.
And they quick to stamp 2 weeks in there. I said, hello. I want the 3 months that I'm allowed. But what you need 3 months for? I said, lady, don't let the devil come out of me to right now, eh? Yeah. Just try to get on with them.
Yes, attitude was real attitude like I
attitude. Yeah. I just tell them, don't let the devil come out of me, you know, the Bajan woman right there, you know.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. I ain't going to no damn visitor line. I born in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? I ain't going to no damn visitor line. And I tell all of them to hold their what. Right? The button against the wrong fella, boy.
Oh God, it's rough at Apiaco. But when you go to Scarborough's, hi, welcome to A&R Robinson International. How are you doing? And Apiaco, oh God, it's like Bachak cross with
there's a lack of customer service training. The attitude stinks, and all of them quarreling for pay, for back pay and for raise. Civil servants, right? Right? They're always cussing and getting on for back pay and raise, right? But they're treating people like garbage in the country.
You see, Gary, that's why they do all you back in the country, you know, because they want to come and control, they want to come and control things, or they want to change the way people doing their thing. The people say,
hello, wait. You the one with the voicemail on your phone, the future Prime Minister of Trinidad talking about the control? Hello?
Listen to this, right? The future Prime Minister will never lock out its citizens any place. The future Prime Minister will never lock down the country without having a stimulus plan in place. Right? The future Prime Minister will never leave its borders porous that anybody could come in. Anybody. Right? You could go. Yeah.
You have to start your own party for that, you know.
Yeah, he better stop calling himself a PNM because
they don't like you no more.
That's all right. You remember me quote on Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said, "Don't confuse dissent with loyalty."
Yeah, but let me tell you something. When I pull out the history,
hey, careful what you say
wickedness against our people in the country. That would make this lockdown with the exemption thing look like a Sunday school joke, boy.
Ansel, you're a PNM, a person who need to be moved.
Oh Lord.
Oh God. Hey, listen.
On top of all of that, like I said, you know, I gave in Fitzgerald a Hine. I gave Dr. Rowley a chance when he came up and talked this talk, right? In front of you, you was a witness to this, right? All right, I supported you with Dr. Rowley. Dr. Rowley was given his chance, right? He stabbed us in the back. You know what I'm saying to you? He stabbed us in the back and spit in our face.
Yeah, I have to say this, I have to say this, right? My whole family, boy, for everything that they have witnessed, boy, they say, boy, that fella is an abysmal failure. That's what
they're referring to Dr. Rowley.
Yes, an abysmal failure.
But it's not only a matter. Listen to me.
Hey,
nothing wrong with being. I'm going to say not having the right information, but it says something very wrong about being heartless against your people. Then I have a big problem with that. You know,
yep. Locking people up. But listen, Anselm. You know that 95% of Trinbagonians related to Bajans, right? All right. You know, I have Hines in my family. My cousin just told me that. You know, Gregory Hines. That was that
dancer,
right? Right.
Not the tap dancer.
Yeah. He had come to a family cookout. He's a relative. But my grandmother family is Hines. You know, HINDS. Yeah. So Fitzy and I might be related. I go trace it down and find out.
TNT infected with a bunch of immigrants from across the Caribbean.
Yeah.
From Grenada, especially Grenada. Let me tell you, that Grenadians ruling the port, ruling Wassa, ruling TNT.
Yep.
You name it.
Bajans, don't talk about that,
And they don't like some of we Trinidad. Anytime we see them moving malicious, they're not an original Trinidadian. You understand? Anytime
Gary and I might be related, you don't know. I have some Mahabirs in my family.
So I tell you, you see the original Trinidadians, they're good with each other right through. When you see somebody kind of little foreign links, the only nice Grenadian I ever met is Shara.
Oh!
You know,
so what happened, Sparrow and Nights?
I forget he. Yeah, he's a Trinidad. he lived there too long.
So guys, before we go, I want to look this guy. This guy. As soon as he hear the lockdown, this is what he do.
All restaurants and bars will be closed.
Wait now. The Prime Minister now said the bars going to close for the next 3 weeks. That means you're not going to make money. That means I had to leave you, okay? Keep good. Drink all that beers by yourself because you're not going to get itself.
All malls would be closed. All places of worship would be closed.
And you're a pastor? Yes, I am. And I'm blessed to be one. Oh, gosh, and church is going to close for the next 3 weeks. Like 3 Sundays, you ain't going to get no offering. You're going to be broke. I need to leave you, right? I'm sorry. I go pray for you still.
All gyms and fitness centers will be closed.
Oh, no. Babe?
Yeah.
Yes, a gym instructor and the Prime Minister said gym going to close for the next 3 weeks and I need a man with money, so I need to leave you, okay? Bye! Hey, girl, where you going, girl?
The public service will operate on essential service only.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Hey,
let's see how quick they distribute the funds towards the people. All right.
10 million, you know, Gary. 10 million.
Only 10 million?
10 million. How much people will get? It's 10 million. That is it. 10 million. Right? Prime Minister Dr. 𝗪𝗓𝗄 said the government will make 40 to 50 million in aid available to those most affected by the current lockdown.
You think that 10 million will cover the Davos people alone?
Oh, Lord.
Is that just for the few bacon shack people up in Maracas there?
But listen, but what you're worrying about, if your partner say if she making 80,000, how come they don't ask them about no income and pay no tax? They don't declare them income and they don't pay tax.
It have plenty maxi drivers who were transporting children up to now can't get their money. All right, them guys who had contract under the government through the Ministry of Education and stuff like that, they can't get their money. They always owing them money. Okay,
but Gary, go ahead, Gary. No, Gary, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying now. You know, these a lot of people who, you know, just can't get their money from because of this guy in boat up to now. You know what I mean? I have people telling me that from the last lockdown they didn't get no money up to now last year. So this government always mama guy people. We don't really know. Like there's just like the humanitarian grant. I mean, how many people really get money? And up to now, when you in their face and you're telling them this person have no money, and Diana had to help me send money to people because if you're dead before you get help from this government. How much times Diana had to bail me out, and them other ladies? How many times they had to bail me out?
But Gary,
otherwise some of these people dead before they get help.
Yeah, Gary, what is the solution? Before we close, we're gonna close in 2 minutes. Diana, Gary, and Tommy. I would like you guys to give 2 solutions to the government of Trinidad and Tobago with respect to this exemption policy. It could be the same, it could be different. 2 solutions to this exile and stranded citizens lockout. Two solutions.
Well, all of us singing the same song here. Remove it totally. All right. Number 1. All right. Take responsibility for your citizens and bring them home under your wing. Don't leave them to some other country responsibility. That is what this government has done. Right? That is a very simple thing. Simple common sense thing.
I would take a leaf out of 𝗵𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗧's Honorable 𝗵𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗧's page, a book. Take a page out of her book. Mirror what she's doing.
And what is that then?
She has her economy open. She's handling her people. She's vaccinating her people. The economy is open. She's, talk to her. Find out what she's doing. They talk. Find out what she's doing. She's a phone call away. And they're 2 nation leaders. Find out what the Honorable 𝗵𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗧 is doing. And try to mirror it. What was his name? That lawyer fella said, try doing Tobago first, create the bubble there, and then, we take it over to Trinidad. But do something instead of this draconian measure of locking down.
So you Tobago as a guinea pig?
Not necessarily. No. I'm not saying Diana, a guinea. No. Gary, stop. I'm not saying a guinea pig. No. What was his name? The lawyer fella.
Martin
yeah.
George.
It wasn't a guinea pig. He said because the population is small, and I understand what he's saying. It's kind of small like Barbados' population. I'm not going with it. It's smaller. You could vaccinate them faster. Now, not a guinea pig, or who wants to come forward and get vaccinated then. Try it, and then you can open it, and then, you go here. But just don't, you lock down the place and you're done. And that's it. People suffering.
But it's a very arrogant approach. But what I'm saying to you, Dan, what I'm looking at, they couldn't even manage the repatriation of our own people to return properly. How are they going to manage open borders?
So you open ANR and not PRCO right now. You gradually open PRCO, open ANR, and you use that and let them come in. At least they're closer to their home, and give the businesses there the chance to get tourists coming in, or you use them as give them to quarantine there, and then they go over to Trinidad. But don't just close off the whole country. I mean, come on, there's something gotta give. Gary. You can't just I liked his idea, or open up the borders and call it George. That's what I say. And put the measures in place, strategies, policies to do what 𝗵𝗂𝗪𝗏𝗧 is doing.
Tommy?
Because
Tommy?
Abandon, discard, scrap the exemption policy. Number 1. Number 2, be honest with the people. If you're coming home with a negative PCR, you should be allowed to quarantine in your home. Plain and simple. I mean, it's no rocket science. The whole world has the same problem, and nobody is taking the approach that they are taking. I don't think it's any rocket science. Just be honest. Stop lying. That's all. And they'll do a lot better. Like you said, the liar has no memory. Just stop the lies. Stop the garbage. Straight up. That's what it is.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that um, they need to scrap the exemption policy. But in the meanwhile, if they're not going to scrap the exemption policy, at least they could work with governments outside of Trinidad and Tobago, wherever there's a stranded citizens, and work on getting them vaccinated so they could come back to Trinidad with a negative PCR test and go on quarantine in their own home, just like the police officers are quarantining, just like the prison officers are quarantining, just like all of that. And by the way, guys, just so you guys know, this Friday I think is Franklin Khan's funeral. So finally, they're gonna rest. They're gonna put him to rest. Finally. So I guess his family is all home now, and we are happy for them that they could go and bury their father. So yeah, back that and Diana, with respect to Martin George, back then it was a good suggestion, was a great suggestion, but now after the Easter, plenty people in Tobago get COVID now.
Yeah, but they went in there and they just, I mean, I'm talking about quarantining and strict measures. I mean, let them go and do as they like. That's what I'm trying to say. Know what I'm trying to say. I don't mean go in and party harty and all that. But I mean,
Diana,
there are lots of guest houses and there are lots of that's what I'm saying. Business, some
Diana,
sort of business.
listen, I have come to the conclusion that this government is absolutely clueless. I have come to the conclusion that they don't have the solutions for the country. Unfortunately, it took me a long time to come to that conclusion, but I have come to the conclusion they just don't have the solution. After this last solution here by the Prime Minister, I have come to the conclusion them fellas don't have no solutions, none, zero, zero, zero. Because we went from one national minister of insecurity to another one. He's doing stuff. Yes, he looked like he's more proactive, right? And getting certain things done. But he's doing that guy was there for years. Years. Right? Years. And this guy coming 2-3 days, he changing the whole that's what I'm saying. They're clueless. It's a bunch of clueless people. And the 5 or 6 top ministries, right? A bunch of clueless people. Right? So my philosophy is my solutions are, get all the and a third solution is that try to get more vaccines so you could have the population vaccinated, right? At least if they're vaccinated, you could reach herd immunity. It don't seem to me that they're going to be able to reach herd immunity anytime soon, because only 3% of the population is vaccinated, and we already in May, right? Already in May, unless they're going to go to Sinopharm and get 500,000 from them. And I wouldn't advise nobody to take that vaccine.
And kill the population and bring in all everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. I'm telling you right now, that vaccine is no guarantee or protection. You can still get COVID with it.
That's why they
all right?
That's what I was about to say. Even with vaccines, you still have to take a PCR test. Because you can say I'm vaccinated, but that's not good enough for anybody or any of the systems in the world right now. You still need a PCR test to travel to anywhere.
I think the government should free itself from the burden with the quarantine thing and get our people home so we can get that out of the way. And that way we could focus on other people coming into the country to kind of stimulate the economy. But right now, we need to get this quarantine and repatriation situation out of the way. And the quicker we get that done is the better. That's what I think is the sensible thing to do. Then we could focus on putting things in place just in case that we are dealing with some issue.
All right, we lost Gary again. So guys, what we're gonna do? Yeah, we lost Gary. What we're gonna do, guys? I think it's approximately 9:25. It's always a pleasure when we come here and we speak truth to power. A lot of people may not like what we're saying, but that's the way it is. If you really want Trinidad to move in a different direction, we can't continue doing these same things and expect to get different results. So we're gonna close. Tommy, we're gonna start with you.
Yeah, well, I believe that the Caribbean needs Caribbean solutions, and that's why I that's why I like what the mayor has done in this city. He has put together a Caribbean commission with representatives from the various islands, and that is very forward thinking. I believe. I believe that what has to happen is that once we can put systems in place that covers the entire region, we can have solutions that are more sensible, because then we would have different minds like Mrs. Motley and others like that, and we would get things done in a more reasonable and sensible manner. So I look forward to Caribbean unity in resolving our issues and in getting a one overarching system. That's where my thoughts are, and I look forward to that day. But meanwhile, I'll be here to do my best as possible, and I appreciate spending time with you guys and with the audience and listening and viewing audience here in the village. I look forward to another time, and may God bless each and every one.
So from where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall. So that's all I like to say. What I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. The right way is not always the popular and easy way. Standing up for the right when it's unpopular is a true test of moral character. Who closed last time? I did close. Diana, go ahead, and then Gary go close.
Okay. I just want to say, COVID-19, the global pandemic, has produced a human and economic crisis unlike any in recent memory. This pandemic has disrupted economic activity, travel, supply chains, and more governments have responded with lockdown measures and stimulus plans. But the extent of these actions have been unequal across countries. Across the globe, most vulnerable populations have been disproportionately affected in regard to job loss and the spread of virus, a trend that is visible in TNT. Now, I will take a responsible stance and urge listeners to follow the WHO protocols and your local CMO protocols, i.e. washing your hands, social distancing, sanitizing, and staying home. And if you have the opportunity to get the vaccine, take the vaccine at your choice. These measures were implemented where I live, and it seemed to help curb the spread of COVID-19. To the government of Trinidad and Tobago, Minister Hines, you are going to have to open the borders, the country's borders, soon, eventually. What then? Are you putting measures and strategies and protocols in place to handle the surge of traffic that will be coming through Piarco and ANR? Or are you too busy now shaping more stringent and discomforting policies that will further traumatize an already psychologically frailed republic? Let me remind you that a government's purpose is to serve people and not to rule them. We at WZYE 95.9 FM will continue to be a conduit for the voices of the diaspora, voices of the disenfranchised, little inconvenienced people who are suffering because of your wicked policies. And we also see an emerging draconian policing practices, which I will note does not seem to affect the 1%. Wake up, Trinidad and Tobago. This is Diana Benskins, your resident poet, bidding you auf Wiedersehen until we meet again.
Go ahead, Gary.
Yes, I would just like to say thanks to the government of Trinidad and Tobago in whatever collaboration they gave us with getting the exemptions for our children in Barbados. And, you know, deeply appreciate any collaboration. I also like to thank the minister. I would also like to ask the government to reconsider its stringent policy that it has unleashed on our people in the country without any consideration about income, that certain actions need to be complemented with certain actions. If you're shutting down the country and they're cutting out their source of income, then you have to provide. Okay, you just can't cut off their means of income and not supplement it. So we got people outside in the country too that you have locked out, that you have not supplemented. They're supporting them being out here. So you need to reconsider your decisions, look at it carefully, and communicate with those of us outside here so we can work together to resolve the issues effectively. This is the Trinity Phantom saying good night. If you need help with any issues outside the country, it's 201-932-6161. You need an exemption to get home. You're having trouble getting any kind of response from the Ministry of National Security, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you.
Before we go, I want to say a special welcome to 𝗂𝗵𝗏 It seemed like a new one who joined us tonight. Welcome, and we thank you for joining us. Of course, we have all our favorite Rose, Omar, and so on who joined us tonight. We thank you guys so very kindly. And of course, you know, I'm going to leave with this one tonight. I'm going to leave with Preacher's song tonight. And this is a pledge. And this is a pledge, I'm going to say, for many of us who live in the diaspora here in outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Take a listen. Guys, see you. Same WZY time, same WZY channel. Later.
Because 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Incorporated. They provide tax preparation, IRS resolution, accounting, business